12 News is your election headquarters. Tomorrow is your last day if you want to vote early in the runoff race for State House District 21. House Speaker Dade Phelan fighting to keep his seat, but David Covey says it's time for a change. All week we've met you at the polls, beginning at Rogers Park in Beaumont on Monday, Tuesday in Vidor at the Raymond Gold Community Center, and yesterday at the Mauriceville Community Center. Today we went to Orange, stopping by the Orange Public Library, where voting stayed pretty steady throughout the day.
Yeah, this race has really far-reaching implications. 12 News reporter Cladra Rhodes spoke with a political analyst at Lamar University tonight. She joins us live. And Cladra, he says the outcome of the May 28th runoff could really determine the political direction in which Texas heads into.
Yeah, you're right, Brenda and Jordan. Dr. James Nelson says the race for State House District 21 is not indicative of an overall trend, but he does compare it to the 2024 presidential race because of the spike of interest pushing voters to the polls.
It's a big deal for Southeast Texas. It's a big deal for the state of Texas. It's a big deal for the Republican Party going forward.
Political analysts agree, telling 12 News that the outcome of the May 28th runoff election will likely determine the political direction of Texas.
If Phelan loses the speakership, there is some chance that the state house starts being run more like the U.S. House.
Lamar University political science professor Dr. James Nelson says the spike in attention makes this race comparable to the 2024 presidential race, but not indicative of what to expect in November.
The lesser of two evils is often what people do think of if they're not very enthusiastic about one of the two candidates.
He says people in the Covey camp may be energized because they see someone speaking more to their values.
I've already shown I can work with the former President Trump, so if I can go all the way up and get his recognition and the statewide across the state, I believe I can also work with the other elected representatives from around this state.
That doesn't mean there isn't a large amount of Phelan supporters who like what he's accomplished so far.
More transportation projects than anywhere else in the state of Texas are happening right here in Southeast Texas. The first funding ever for our Southeast Texas ports, $66 million. The first mental health, behavioral health hospital since 1966 as well.
But in between conservative and liberal voters are centrists. Dr. Nelson says that's where the race for State House District 21 and the 2024 presidential race overlap.
For people outside of the district who really want him to win are people who want the Republican Party of Texas to be more consistently very conservative, more consistently kind of far right or noticeably to the right of the center.
Both candidates stress the importance of voting in this election. Early voting ends tomorrow. Live in Orange, Cladra Rhodes, 12 News.
All right, Cladra, and we understand there's still some confusion. People going to the polls if they don't live in District 21. You've got to live in the yellow boundaries that we've shaded. That's all of Jasper and all of Orange counties, but as you zoom in here, only part of Jefferson County. This white area, Beaumont's Old Town, some of this stretch between Beaumont and Nederland, parts of Groves, you're not in the district. So you want to double check to make sure that you live within the district boundaries. And tonight at 10, stay with us. We've got a special election edition of 12 News. Brenda's going to break down some of the key issues as she goes one-on-one with Covey and Phelan. And I will go through some of the ads to verify what's true and what needs context. Again, a special edition of 12 News at 10 coming your way this evening.
Yeah, be sure to join us. Still ahead here.